Cole Maddox had seen many strange things in his life. Wild horses, breaking fences, storms turning the sky black in seconds, and travelers arriving with stories no one could ever believe. But nothing prepared him for the moment the stagecoach rolled into the dusty little town of Red Creek that afternoon. The wheels creaked, the horses snorted, and people gathered like they always did when something new came to town. Yet today, the air felt different, as if everyone knew something unexpected was about to happen. Cole stood near the hitching post, his boots half covered in dust, arms crossed while pretending not to care. In truth, he was nervous in a way he had never been before. He wasn't afraid of bandits or storms, but the idea of a mail-order bride showing up early felt like a storm of its own. It wasn't that he didn't want marriage, he just didn't know how to be a husband. He had lived alone on his ranch for years, speaking more to his horses than to people. When the stagecoach door opened, a hush fell over the street. A heavy boot stepped down first, then another, and then a tall woman with wide shoulders and long blonde hair ducked through the doorway. She didn't just stand tall, she towered over everyone. She was easily a head taller than Cole, maybe more, and her shadow stretched across the dusty ground like someone who had walked out of a legend. Her name was Anja Vinter, and from the moment she stepped down, people could not stop staring. Some whispered, some pointed, a few children gasped. But Anja didn't seem bothered. She stood quietly, holding a large leather bag and looking around with calm curiosity, as if she had expected this strange new world to be filled with eyes. Cole swallowed hard. This was her, his mail-order bride, the woman who had answered his letter when he wrote to the marriage office months ago, the woman who had sent a short, simple note saying she wanted a home, a peaceful life, and someone she could work beside. What she didn't mention was that she was built like a mountain. Anja saw him and smiled a small, polite smile that softened her strong features. She walked toward him with slow, careful steps, as if she didn't want to frighten anyone. Her English was broken, but she had practiced a greeting many times. "You are Cole." "Yes?" she asked. Her voice was deep but warm, like thunder that didn't scare people. Cole cleared his throat. "Yeah, that's me." Before he could say anything else, his horse Buckshot, an energetic brown stallion, snorted and stepped forward. Anja watched Cole grab the reins and calm the animal with ease. She studied the way his hands moved, the way he balanced, the way he seemed to understand the horse without speaking. Then she said something no one expected. "Ride me like you ride your horses." Silence dropped like a stone. A woman gasped. A man dropped his pipe. Cole froze with his hands still on the reins. Even Buckshot stopped moving. Anja blinked at the growing shock on everyone's faces. She had no idea what she had said wrong. She repeated it with confidence, thinking she was giving a compliment. "You ride very good. Ride me like you ride them. Love. Ride." Cole's face went red faster than sunset. "Ma'am, I mean, Anja, maybe you shouldn't say it like that." Anja tilted her head, confused. "Is wrong? I practice this sentence on ship. They say is good way to show respect." "No?" Cole almost laughed, but he held it in. "I think someone tricked you." "Tricked?" She frowned, thinking deeply. "Maybe I say it wrong." The townspeople tried not to laugh, but a few chuckles escaped. Cole gave them a sharp look that quieted the street. The woman already looked embarrassed enough, though she tried to hide it behind a strong expression. Cole stepped closer, lowering his voice so only she could hear. "Folks around here misunderstand things easy. Don't worry about it. You didn't do anything bad." Anja nodded, grateful, though her cheeks turned a soft pink. Cole grabbed her heavy bags, surprised by how much weight they had, and motioned for her to follow him. She walked slowly, watching everything. The buildings, the horses, the dusty ground, the curious eyes. Everything was new to her. They reached his wagon, and Cole struggled to lift one of her trunks. Anja gently moved him aside and lifted it with one arm, as though it weighed nothing. Cole stared. "You're stronger than half the ranch hands in this county." Anja gave a shy smile. "My father say I am strong like Winter Bear." Cole didn't know what that meant, but it sounded impressive. The wagon ride to his ranch took over an hour, and during the journey, they talked about their lives. Anja explained that she lived in a cold, distant land where farms were hard to maintain, and she often worked outside with animals. She had no family left, and wanted a peaceful place where she could build a future. Cole shared how he grew up on the ranch, working cattle and training horses, and how he spent years alone after his parents passed. When they arrived, Anja looked at the ranch with wide, thoughtful eyes. The wooden house was simple, but clean. The barn stood tall, and fields stretched out under the warm sun. It wasn't much, but Cole felt proud of it, and he hoped she would feel the same. She stepped down from the wagon and touched the wooden fence gently, like someone touching something precious. "Is quiet," she said softly. "Quiet is good." Cole nodded. "It's peaceful out here. Sometimes too peaceful." Anja walked around slowly, studying everything with deep interest. She gently touched the horse's neck, whispering something in her own language. Buckshot, normally stubborn, stood perfectly still. Cole raised an eyebrow. No one made that horse calm. Not even him. "You've got a gift," Cole said. "Gift?" Anja repeated the word carefully. "You mean good with animals?" "Very good," Cole said. For the first time, Anja smiled, fully warm, bright, genuine. Inside the house, Anja looked around politely. It was plain but tidy. Cole wasn't a messy man, but he wasn't stylish either. She traced her fingers over the wooden table and nodded approvingly. "I make it warm," she said, "and clean, and good." Cole didn't doubt it. She had the determined look of someone who turned hard places into homes. She placed her belongings neatly by the door, then stood there uncertainly, as if waiting for instruction. "You can choose any room you like," Cole said awkwardly. "Any room?" she asked. "Well, the house ain't big. There's mine, the spare, and the loft." She thought a moment. "Spare room is good. I sleep there." "Lekin." Cole felt relieved. It meant she wasn't expecting too much from him too soon. He didn't know how to be a husband yet, and she was new to everything. It felt right to take things slow. After she settled her things, Anja stepped outside again. Cole followed. She was looking at the horizon, where the sun painted the sky orange. "This land is big," she said quietly. "Bigger than sea." He nodded. "It's all open. No walls. No noise." She breathed deeply, as if the air itself was something she had been waiting for her entire life. But soon the awkward memory from town returned to her mind. She turned to Cole, her cheeks slightly pink again. "I say wrong thing. I am sorry. I learn better words." Cole waved a hand. "Forget it. Really. It wasn't your fault." "I do not want make shame for you," she said. "You didn't," he said softly. "You were just trying to be kind." Anja looked relieved. For the first time since arriving, she relaxed fully. She looked at the ranch again, at the fields, the horses, the sky changing colors. She whispered, "I think this place can be home." Cole looked at her, this tall, strong woman who crossed a whole ocean to stand here, and something warm stirred in him. It wasn't love yet, but it was something like respect, maybe hope. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Maybe it can." As evening settled, they sat on the porch with cups of warm coffee. They didn't talk much, but the silence felt comfortable, not strange. Two strangers, brought together by letters and fate, sharing a peaceful moment under the open western sky. Cole didn't know what the future held. He didn't know if marriage would work or if they would learn to understand each other. But as he watched Anja gently stroke the horse's mane while humming a soft foreign tune, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. He felt less alone. And far away, in the quiet night, Anja thought the same. Their story had begun awkwardly, but something real and gentle was already taking root, something neither expected, when the stagecoach door opened that afternoon. Anja woke early the next morning, long before the sun touched the plains. She moved quietly inside the spare room, careful not to make noise. She had learned from years of hard work that the day always began before others woke. She washed her face, tied her long blonde hair into a thick braid, and stepped outside into the cold morning air. Cole was surprised when he opened the door and saw her already feeding the horses. She held 2 heavy buckets, like they weighed nothing. Even the horses stared at her curiously, unsure of this tall new stranger with the calm voice and strong hands. "You're up early," Cole said, rubbing sleep from his eyes. "Work start early," Anja replied simply. "In my home, sun never wait." Cole chuckled. "Well, I'm not complaining." The morning felt peaceful. The sky slowly brightened, and the smell of hay and cool air filled the ranch. Anja moved with purpose, watching how Cole prepared the horses, how he checked each animal's hooves, and how he tied ropes with quick, sure movements. She tried to imitate him. Sometimes she copied wrong, but she corrected herself without complaint. She didn't ask many questions, but she learned by watching. By midday, Cole understood something important. Anja wasn't used to being taught. In her homeland, she probably learned everything alone by observing, by struggling, by trying again. He stopped her when she attempted to lift a heavy wagon wheel on her own. "Hold on," he said, stepping in. "Let me help." "I can," she insisted gently. "I know you can," he said, smiling. She blinked slowly. "Work? Together?" "Yeah," he said. "You're part of the ranch now. Part of the household." Anja looked at him with quiet surprise. She wasn't used to hearing such things. Cole could see the meaning settle into her heart slowly, like a seed finding soil. After lunch, Cole decided it was time to teach her how to ride properly. Yesterday, she had admired his riding so much she said that famous accidental sentence in town. Today, he wanted to give her the chance to learn what she really meant. He saddled his gentlest horse, a calm gray mare named Lily. Anja stood beside the animal, gently stroking her neck. The horse relaxed instantly. "She likes you," Cole said. "She usually ignores strangers." "Animals understand calm," Anja said softly. "And they know I will not hurt." Cole believed her. She had a strange gift. Even wild animals seemed to trust her. He guided her step by step. "First, put your foot here. No, not too fast. Good. Now, swing your leg over." Because Anja was so tall, she climbed into the saddle easily. But once she sat down, she held the reins awkwardly, like she was afraid of pulling too hard. "Relax your shoulders," Cole said. "The horse feels your tension." Anja took a deep breath and loosened her grip. "That's better." At first they only walked in circles. Anja tilted left and right, trying to keep her balance. She frowned, concentrating hard. Cole walked beside her, ready to catch her if she slipped. "You don't need to fight the horse," he explained. "Let her move, and you just follow." Anja tried again. This time her body moved smoother. She guided Lily with small motions, letting the mare lead instead of forcing her. "You learn fast," Cole said. "Horse teach me more than you." Anja replied with a small smile. Cole laughed. Probably true. Every hour they practiced, Anja improved. She listened closely to Cole's instructions. Sometimes her English made things confusing, but she tried hard to understand. When she mispronounced something, Cole gently corrected her. She appreciated his kindness. In her home country, mistakes meant embarrassment or silence. Here, Cole encouraged her to keep trying. Later that afternoon, after hours of practice, Cole mounted his own horse, Buckshot, and rode beside her. They rode slowly at first, then faster, as Anja grew confident. The warm wind touched their faces, and for a moment neither of them spoke. Anja looked around at the open fields, feeling the freedom of the land. "You are big," Cole joked. She gave him a playful frown. "No, I mean, free, like wind." Cole nodded. "That's how riding feels." They slowed, near a small creek. Anja climbed down and splashed cold water on her face. Cole watched her quietly. She moved differently today, less stiff, more alive. The shy woman from yesterday was now curious, observant, almost joyful. "You're doing great," he said. "Because you teach," she replied. "No," he said gently. "Because you try." Anja lowered her eyes, touched by the simple compliment. When they returned to the ranch, Cole noticed something important. Anja walked with more confidence. She even greeted the chickens and cows as she passed them, whispering gentle words in her language. Cole felt proud watching her. That evening, they cooked dinner together. Anja chopped vegetables with surprising speed. She prepared food in a way he didn't recognize, simple, but warm and comforting. Cole cooked the meat and tried to follow her instructions when she taught him a recipe from her homeland. They sat at the table, eating quietly at first. Then Anja spoke. "Today, I make mistake with English again?" "No," Cole said. "You did fine." "I say many wrong things," she admitted. "People laugh sometimes." "I understand, little slow." "You'll learn," Cole said. "You already learned more today than some folks learn in a month." She paused, looking at him thoughtfully. "You are patient." Cole shrugged. "It's easy to be patient with someone who tries." Anja lowered her head slightly, touched again. "In town yesterday, I say words wrong. You explain now?" Cole almost choked on his food. "Right now?" "Yes," she said earnestly. "I want understand what I say wrong." "No want." "Say bad again." He scratched the back of his neck, unsure where to begin. "Well, what you said sounded not like what you meant." "I meant," she said slowly, "you ride horse very good. So, I want learn same." "Yes," he said. "But the words you used? People think it means something else." "What something?" she asked. Cole cleared his throat. "Something too personal." Anja's eyes widened. "Oh, yeah." Her face turned pink again. "I am sorry. I did not want say wrong thing." "I know," he said quickly. "It was harmless. But maybe don't trust every sentence someone teaches you." "I will be careful," she said. "I not want bring trouble for you." Cole looked at her seriously. "You're not trouble." Anja met his eyes for a long moment. It was the first time she really believed him. After dinner, they stepped outside to watch the sunset. The sky glowed in deep orange and soft gold. Anja stood at the fence, leaning slightly forward, breathing in the warm air. Cole stood beside her, arms resting on the rail. "I feel far from home," she said quietly, "but not lonely." "Good," he said. She looked at him, her expression gentle. "Because you are kind." Cole didn't know what to say. Kind wasn't a word people used for him often. He wasn't mean, but he had always been a quiet, stubborn cowboy who kept distance from people. But with Anja, he didn't feel the need to stay distant. As the sky grew darker, they talked more. She told him small pieces of her life: cold winters, strong storms, long nights working on farms, and how she lost her parents. She said she came to America because she wanted a place where she could start fresh, without fear or hardship. Cole listened carefully. He didn't interrupt. He didn't judge. He simply understood. Then she surprised him by saying, "You listen like old friends listen." Cole felt something warm climb up his chest. "You talk like someone worth listening to," he replied. Anja smiled softly. It was different from her first day smile. This one held comfort, trust, and a small spark of something new. When the stars appeared, Cole showed her the constellations. She didn't know their names, but she seemed fascinated. "Sky look same everywhere," she whispered. "But feel different here." "Different how?" Cole asked. "Here, sky feels soft, like it watch over people." Cole found himself smiling. "Never thought about it that way." Anja folded her hands. "Today was good day?" "Yeah," Cole said quietly. "Real good." They stood together in silence, feeling the cool night wind. Something unspoken passed between them. Not romance yet, not love, but the first step toward understanding each other. Before going inside, Anja said something softly. "Tomorrow, I want work more, learn more. I want be good wife." Cole felt a soft shock in his chest. She said it with honesty. Not pressure, not expectation, just sincerity. "You're already doing fine," he said. And he meant it. When night finally fell, Anja returned to her room. Cole lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling. He had been alone for so long that he forgot what it felt like to have someone share his world. But now, someone was here. Someone strong. Someone gentle. Someone who tried. Someone who made the ranch feel less empty. As he closed his eyes, he wondered what tomorrow would bring. And for the first time in years, he felt excited for the next day. The days passed slowly, and life on the ranch began to form a gentle rhythm. Anja worked with quiet strength each morning, learning more about the animals, the land, and the routines of Western life. Cole found himself watching her often not because she was unusual in size, but because she handled everything with patience and steady determination. He admired that. It was rare to find someone who didn't complain, didn't brag, and didn't pretend to be something they weren't. But while things were peaceful on the ranch, the town of Red Creek had started whispering again. Gossip traveled fast in small places. People talked about the tall foreign woman who arrived with strange English, who carried heavy tools like feathers, and who lived with a cowboy who never spoke much to anyone. Some said she was too big for him. Others said Cole had only ordered a bride because he wanted free labor. A few even claimed Anja forced him into marriage. The words reached Cole one afternoon while he was at the general store buying supplies. 3 ranchers, men who always looked for trouble, stood near the counter. They didn't notice Cole at first. "You see that giant woman at Maddox Ranch?" One of them said with a laugh. "Yeah," another replied. "I heard she can lift a cow with one hand. Probably runs the ranch while he hides behind her skirt." The third joked. Cole tensed. He turned slowly, fixing his eyes on them. All 3 men fell quiet, but one of them smirked. "You don't mind a little joke, do you, Cole?" he asked. "I mind lies," Cole said evenly, "and I mind disrespect toward my wife." The word wife came out strong and clear. The ranchers exchanged glances. Cole didn't raise his voice or make a scene. He simply looked at them the way a quiet man looks, before walking away from foolishness. He paid for his things and left without another word, but the anger stayed with him all the way home. When he reached the ranch, he found Anja mending a fence that had been knocked down by last night's wind. She looked up when she saw him, her braid loose from the hard work. Cole tried to hide his frustration, but Anja noticed. "You look heavy inside," she said. He opened his mouth to deny it, then stopped. With Anja, he didn't feel the need to pretend. "People in town talk too much," he said. "About you?" she asked. "About you," he answered quietly. Anja lowered the hammer and stood straight. "Some of it," Cole said. "Some folks don't understand you. They think you're strange." Anja stayed silent for a moment. Her eyes didn't show hurt, but more of quiet acceptance. She had lived her whole life being different. This was not new. "I am used to people talking," she said finally. "In my old home, people say things too. I am too tall, too strong, not soft like others. But words, they do not cut me." Cole wished he had her strength. "But I do not want people say bad about you because of me," she added softly. Cole shook his head. "You didn't do anything wrong." Anja looked down at the broken fence. "People talk because they see different. They not see truth." Cole wanted to say more, but he didn't know how. He didn't know how to explain how much he respected her, how much she already meant to him, how much he hated hearing others laugh at her. Instead, he said the only thing he knew was true. "I'm proud to have you here." Anja met his eyes with quiet gratitude. Something warm passed between them, steady and real. Before they could speak more, the ground shook faintly beneath their feet. It wasn't an earthquake. It was something Cole knew too well. "Stampede," he whispered. In the distance, dust rose like a storm cloud. The cattle from the neighboring ranch had broken loose, charging wildly across the plains. Cole jumped into action immediately. "We need to stop them before they reach the river," he said. "If they hit the water with that speed, they'll drown." He ran toward the barn to saddle Buckshot. Anja followed, her long strides quick and steady. She fetched ropes, opened the gate, and even calmed Lily, who was nervous from the rumbling ground. Cole mounted his horse. "I'll try to circle them. Keep the smaller ones from breaking away." Anja nodded and mounted Lily with surprising speed. The horse trusted her already. They galloped toward the chaos. The herd looked like a dark, moving mass, hooves thundering across the ground. Dust filled the air, making everything look like a storm made of earth. Cole rode straight toward the lead animals, shouting and waving his hat. Buckshot moved fast, trained for moments like this. Anja stayed on the side, guiding smaller groups back into the main herd with careful precision. She didn't use force, she used instinct. She understood how to move with animals, not against them. The stampede was wild and dangerous, but Cole and Anja worked together as if they had trained for years. Cole controlled the front half, while Anja handled the sides, preventing stragglers and calming frightened cattle. Then suddenly, one bull broke away and charged toward Cole. Buckshot shied to the side, and Cole lost his balance. He fell hard onto the ground, pain shooting up his leg. Anja saw him fall. She didn't hesitate. She rode Lily straight toward the bull, shouted in her deep voice, and swung the rope with perfect accuracy. The rope landed around the bull's horns, and she pulled hard, turning its direction away from Cole. The bull stumbled and slowed, confused and no longer dangerous. Anja jumped off her horse and ran to Cole. He tried to stand, but pain twisted his face. "You hurt," she said firmly. "It's nothing," Cole tried to insist, but the pain in his ankle said otherwise. "Nothing can wait," she said. She lifted him gently, careful, slow, strong, and placed him on Lily's back. Cole wanted to argue, but he couldn't. He was hurting too much. Anja led the horse back to the ranch, walking beside him with steady steps. Her face showed no panic, only deep concern. When they reached the house, she helped him down, supporting him like he weighed nothing. Cole sat on the porch, with his injured leg stretched out. Anja brought water, cloth, and herbs she found in the kitchen. "You know how to treat injuries?" Cole asked. "In my home, people hurt often," she said. "Cold land, heavy work. We learned to fix small things." She wrapped his ankle carefully, her hands gentle but strong. Cole watched her in silence. He had never seen anyone so focused, so caring. She worked without fear, without hesitation. "I thought I lost you," she said suddenly, her voice trembling slightly. Cole blinked. "You didn't. I'm fine. I see you fall," she said, looking at his ankle. "My chest jump. I feel afraid." She rarely showed strong emotion, so hearing her say that made Cole's heart tighten. "I'm not easy to get rid of," he said softly. Anja looked up, her blue eyes filled with something warm and unspoken. "Good," she whispered. The ranch grew quiet as the evening set in. Cole rested while Anja checked on the animals and made sure everything was safe again. She moved like a guardian. Watchful, responsible, loyal. When she returned, she sat beside him on the porch. The sky turned soft pink as the sun lowered. "You saved the ranch today," Cole said. "You save many times," she replied. "Today was my turn." Cole shook his head. "I couldn't have done it without you." Anja folded her hands, thinking deeply. "People in town, they not see this. They not see we work same. Together." "They will," Cole said firmly. "I'll make sure they do." Anja took a slow breath. "I only want respect. Not fear. Not jokes. Respect." "You'll have it," Cole promised. They sat in comfortable silence. Cole leaned back, his pain easing. Anja watched the horizon, as if guarding the land. Something had changed between them. Something strong. Something real. Cole felt it. Anja felt it. The ranch felt it. They were no longer strangers learning to share a life, they were partners. And the bond formed in the dust of the stampede was deeper than either of them expected. As the stars appeared one by one, Cole felt a calm warmth settle inside him. He had fallen, been helped, been protected, and now understood something important about the woman beside him. She wasn't just his mail-order bride. She was someone he trusted with his life. And she had already proven she was willing to protect it. Cole's ankle slowly healed over the next week, but the feeling inside him healed even faster. Something had changed, something strong, and warm, and steady. Every time he watched Anja work on the ranch, he felt a quiet pride growing in his chest. She moved through each day with the same calm strength she had shown from the beginning. But now he looked at her with new eyes. Before, he saw a partner in work. Now, he also saw a partner in life. Anja, in her own quiet way, had begun to soften too. She still worked with focus, still spoke carefully, still thought deeply before every action. But she smiled more now. She laughed more. Sometimes when she carried a bucket or fixed a broken board, she would glance at Cole to see if he was watching. When she caught him looking, she would quickly look away with shy embarrassment. The simple moment always made Cole smile. One evening, a week after the stampede, Cole walked into town to buy some supplies. He didn't want to leave Anja behind again, but she insisted on staying to work on mending the barn roof before another storm arrived. He trusted her fully. She had climbed higher, lifted heavier, and balanced better than many ranch hands he had known. As Cole stepped into the general store, people looked at him differently than before. Some nodded politely, others whispered, but there was no mocking tone this time. The story of the stampede had traveled quickly. People had heard how Anja helped save not only Cole, but also the neighboring ranchers' cattle. They heard she faced danger with calmness and strength. Respect had replaced the earlier laughter. The store owner, Mr. Harlan, placed a sack of feed on the counter and said, "Heard you had yourself a rough day out there last week." Cole nodded. "Could have been worse." "I heard that tall wife of yours pulled you out of trouble," Mr. Harlan said, his tone filled with genuine respect. Cole smiled proudly. "She did. Well," the store owner said, leaning on the counter, "you got yourself a good woman." Cole couldn't deny it. "Yeah," he said, "I do." On the way back home with the wagon full of supplies, Cole thought about those words. A good woman. A strong woman. A loyal woman. A woman who had crossed an ocean to build a life with him, a stranger. And now she wasn't a stranger at all. When he reached the ranch, he found Anja standing on the barn roof. The sky was turning orange as the sun lowered, and her tall figure was outlined against the warm light. She hammered the last wooden plank into place with steady hands, then climbed down easily, brushing dust from her dress. "All done?" Cole asked. She nodded. "Yes. Roof strong now. You didn't have to finish it alone." "I am not alone," she said. "You come back." Cole didn't know how such simple words could hit so deeply. They unloaded the wagon together. Anja lifted the heavier bags, even though Cole tried to help. When he attempted to take one sack from her, she shook her head and said softly, "Your ankle still hurt." He didn't argue. She knew what she was doing. Later, they sat on the porch as the evening turned quiet. The sky glowed with soft pink clouds, and the air felt warm. Anja had brewed a warm drink, using herbs from her homeland. She held the cup carefully, enjoying its smell. Cole looked out at the open plains. "Town's been talking," he said. Anja's shoulders tensed. "Good or bad?" "Good," Cole said. "They're starting to understand you. They respect you." Anja exhaled softly, relief showing on her face. "I do not want to be problem." "You're not," Cole said. "You've made my life easier." She looked at him with honest curiosity. "How?" "You took care of the ranch," Cole said. "You helped with the horses. You saved me. You saved the cattle. And," he paused slightly, "you made this place feel more like home." Cold. Anja's eyes softened. "Home is place where heart feels safe." "Yeah," he said. "Exactly." For a long moment they sat quietly. The wind blew gently, carrying the smell of grass and earth. The crickets had begun their evening chorus, and the lantern beside the door glowed softly. After a while, Anja spoke again. "Cole," she said thoughtfully, "when I write to the office, I ask for simple life. Quiet life. Work. Peace. I not ask for more." Cole listened closely, sensing something important behind her words. "But since I come here," she continued, "I feel different." She placed a hand over her chest. "I feel warm. I feel seen." "You are seen," Cole said warmly. "By me." She looked at him with gentle surprise, as if she didn't expect anyone to ever say that. "You came here to start a new life," Cole said. "But I think we're both building something new." Anja lowered her gaze, touched. "I am glad." The next day, a group of neighbors visited the ranch. They brought extra tools and supplies to repair the fence that had been damaged in the stampede. One of the ranchers, Mr. Crowley, scratched his head awkwardly and said, "We figured we owed you both a hand after what you did." Anja looked surprised. The same men who once laughed now stood at her door offering help. She didn't know how to respond. But Cole stepped forward. "Thank you," he said. "We appreciate it." Anja worked with them side by side. She lifted posts, held boards steady, and hammered nails with precise strength. The men who had once joked about her size now exchanged impressed glances. She didn't talk much, but her calm presence changed the atmosphere. At one point, Mr. Crowley whispered to Cole, "Your wife's something." Didn't understand her at first, but I understand now. "Rate," Cole nodded. "She's one of a kind." By sunset, the fence was repaired. The neighbors thanked Cole and Anja, tipping their hats politely. Anja watched them leave with a thoughtful expression. "They change," she said quietly. "People change when they see the truth," Cole replied. Anja nodded. "I'm glad they see." That night, after cleaning up and finishing chores, Cole and Anja stood outside the house again. The sky was full of stars, brighter than usual. The air was warm but gentle, wrapping around them like a blanket. Anja hesitated before speaking. "Cole, I want to ask something." "Ask anything," he said. She struggled to find the right English words. "Do you think I fit here? In this land, in this house, in this life?" I'm marketing land. I'm marketing land." Cole stepped closer, his voice calm and steady. "Yes, Anja. You do. More than I ever expected." She breathed slowly, taking in his words like they were something precious. I feel like I belong. You do, he repeated. She looked down at her hands. When I come here, I feel afraid. I feel alone. But you make me feel safe. Strong. Not strange. You were never strange, Cole said softly. You were just different. And difference, not bad. She lifted her gaze to him. In her eyes was a mixture of gratitude, affection, and something deeper, something she was not yet brave enough to say aloud. Cole took her hand gently. Her hand was large, warm, and steady. She looked surprised, but she didn't pull away. Anja, he said. I know we started as strangers. I know everything was uncertain. But I'm proud to have you here. Proud to have you as my wife. Anja's breath caught softly. She didn't cry, but her eyes grew bright. I want to stay by your side, she whispered. Learn this land. Learn this life. Learn you. You already have, Cole said. They stood there together, joined by simple honesty. The wind rustled the grass. The stars shimmered. Everything felt still and peaceful. After a long silence, Anja spoke again. Her voice soft, but full of emotion. I want, be good wife, good partner, good in heart. You already are, Cole replied. Better than I hoped. Anja smiled, slow and warm. It was the smile of someone who finally felt at home, finally felt accepted, finally felt valued. Cole squeezed her hand gently. She squeezed back. They didn't kiss. They didn't rush. They simply stood side by side, sharing the same breath, the same peace, the same growing bond. Their hearts moved calmly toward each other, like two horses walking in step across an open field. The next morning, the ranch looked brighter. The sun rose gently, painting the land in golden light. Cole and Anja rode together across the plains, their horses moving side by side. The wind lifted their hair. The land stretched endlessly before them. For the first time, Cole didn't ride alone. And for the first time, Anja didn't walk into a new world with fear. They were partners now. Equal, steady, connected by trust, respect, and the quiet strength they found in each other. As they rode together, the ranch stood behind them like a home, finally complete, a place built not from wood and nails, but from understanding, kindness, and shared courage. Their story began with an awkward sentence, a misunderstanding, and a world of uncertainty. But it ended with two hearts finding peace across the open plains.